technology that well. Anyways, so
Are you going to show yourself and introduce yourself?
so if I can get you to introduce yourself.
Okay. Oh, what am I doing? I'm going to introduce myself and talk about myself. My name is Janice Trudeau. I'm just kidding. My name is Janice Trudeau. I come from Wikwemikong, and I came here to the Trent Elders Gathering to get their friend Gina Coenzi from Cape. We met a long time ago in another lifetime, 25 years ago, in Toronto when we were both summer students working for summer student jobs, whatever, in the city of Toronto. That's where we were. And then we've seen each other off and on. We've seen each other a few weeks ago at Ottawa, the Carleton student gathering, and Gina teaches languages at University of Ottawa. So then we went to another Northern Lights of Ottawa conference in Ottawa last week, which focused on Inuit accomplishments and Inuit culture and all the northern development of big businesses and northern development, mining, fossil fuels, everything. It's really we had a lot of laughs. And so then just dropped by last night. Let's go to Trent. And I said, I haven't been to Trent for 20 years when I used to work at Bedon Lodge in Toronto. Did a short contract there, but we brought the clients up here. But before that, I used to come from Bedon. It was much bigger than it is today. And that's how I started, not really started, but I continued in my gaining knowledge about myself as a missionary poet, and then about Indigenous world perspectives, because I've learned more perspective. Just opened my eyes to a broader world, broader than on reserve in Wikwemikong, where I was raised. And I'm very proud to be from Wikwemikong. I'm very proud to be Anishinaabe poet, and I'm very proud that I grew up with my language and knowing and being an Anishinaabe. Some people say from other communities tease us. Communities say, "Oh yeah, you're from Wikwemikong, the conceited, but really the unseen." In my community, this is very progressive. In our education system, the majority of the teachers have the language, are from Wikwemikong, were educated in Wikwemikong, came back and teach in Wikwemikong. And when I went away to school, when I was in Toronto, I did go to York University and I graduated there. I had my children. And then lived in Toronto, worked in the urban Aboriginal community, primarily in the health and social service areas, like in the Native Center. Native Women's Association, race relations. So I've worked in a lot of areas. And I've worked and lived in Sudbury, Thunder Bay. In those positions too, I got to go to Vancouver, East Coast, did opening addresses at University, when I worked for so I went back home to Wiki and I lived there, worked there for about 12, 13 years, and then had a job opportunity to come to Ottawa. So I went to Ottawa and been in Ottawa for 3 years now. I guess it's almost 4 because Harmony was in grade 9 when we moved there. It was a big culture shock for her and Keegan because there's their first time off. But I was with them, so it was kind of like baby steps to get them ready to go on their own. So they're still with me, but they'll be gone on their own soon. When we first moved there, it was pretty good because I was telling them this is going to be fun. You're going to meet all kinds of people with different kinds of cultures, and and there's schools like at Leaf Collegiate, there's like 1,000 students, well, let's say 600 students compared to Wiki, and it's a big, Wikwemikong has its own high school too. But in the city, you meet Somalis, Greece, people from Greece, like all over the world, and Ottawa is quite international city. People from all areas of the world are there represented. populations, and while we're living in the city, maybe they're learning buses and all the benefits of living in the city. But there's a lot of good things from being born and raised in the reserve, because we all miss home, because that's our identity. Because we're from Wikwemikong, we miss our friends, we miss our family, we miss the life cycles of Wikwemikong. Right now it's hockey season, so we miss no fishing, and then the trout, and we miss having the fresh food and the meats and the fish and things like that. But I guess what helped us to ease into, or to help me to ease into Ottawa, is we were watching this children's show that we were laughing at. It's called Madagascar, and we really liked the characters, or I liked the penguins and stuff like that. But the part that I really liked at I forget the name for a while. The character goes it's wherever they land in Madagascar, they're like, no, you must never leave the reserve. So we were watching the show, and just looking at the other character, he goes, no, it's good out there, you can go beyond that. And I was like, it's good out, it's okay to leave the reserve, Harmony? It's good out there when you leave the reserve. She's laughing away, she goes, it's okay to leave the reserve. And so it's been good, like it's a slow walk for them, like gentle, but they have their trials and challenges, and it gives me challenges too, and I really enjoy being a mother and parenting them. With each developmental stage has its own challenges and joys. And we're trying to get back to the Native Language Conference in the Sioux this year, because there too, it's just a good feeling to be among your own people, and you don't have to explain yourself. You already know the cultural nuances and the heartbeat of the community, and you can just flow in again, and you already feel like you belong. Ottawa, it's hard to come to the city. I guess for me too, it took me a couple of years, because I was so used to every 2 weeks when you get paid, go to a major trip to Sudbury or Espanola, and you stock up for like 2 weeks or whatever, because you don't know when, and you're gonna get as much as you can, fill up your storages there, like your fridge or cupboards and stuff like that. But there in the city, actually, you don't have to worry about that. You can always go to the store. You can always go to the store, and it'll have it, whichever it is, whatever area you're going to. Like down to the market in the summer, and there's different markets in the city, or Walmart, or Best Buy, or Food Basics, or it varies. I go to the town store to get their spaghetti sauce because it's better, because it's homemade and fresh pasta, which only takes 5 minutes to cook, stuff like that. So I guess getting into that mindset, not thinking that you can only go to town every 2 weeks for supplies, but knowing that because you live in the city, you can actually just go every 2 days, 3 days. You don't have to worry about it, So that took a while to get out of that habit. What else? So we're talking about things that, what was it again? It's coming with identity, I guess, within the city, and so learning those things too. So it was good that they could go to all the festivals and all the events, and there's the nightlife, the street life, like in the sense that you can go to movies, you can hang out at the market, see all kinds of characters, or I think they're characters that they're walking around with their pink hair, with hair, 60 years old, or 16 years old, either way, but they're all individuals. But and then there's lots going on there too, because it's a big political arena, if you're into that, things like that. So there's lots of good things about coming out to the city, and there's a lot in Ottawa. We have lots of choices in regards to further education once they get ready, once they finish high school, and who knows what they'll do. And then there's lots of work opportunities. There's lots of opportunities in the city. Came from this workshop this morning. It was good. It was David Newhouse talking about his presentation. But you know what? One thing I noticed there too, they was talking about He compartmentalized a lot of things. Like he talked about, okay, there's a lot of contributions from Aboriginal societies into Canada. Like, okay, and we've seen it being developed, like, in regards to, like, the Senate. We know that's based on, speaking of the devil, there's David. There's the Senate. So there's Aboriginal healing circles, there's working on Aboriginal child welfare, policies, environmental stewardship, and all this listed. He talked about the different types of medicine wheels. But you know what? Really, it's not different types of medicine wheels. There's only one medicine wheel, and it's not types. It's just that the medicine wheel has such depth that it can be. You can look at it from your perspective. So say this is your child welfare perspective, so you'll see the medicine wheel with the infant, the child, or the youth, the adult, and the elder. And then we're talking about, I don't know, it just depends on your perspective, how you can interpret the medicine wheel. So if you're looking at it from a child welfare perspective, from a legal perspective, from an environmental perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from whichever perspective, it's still a medicine wheel. It's because the medicine wheel is so simple, yet has so much depth that you can interpret it and use it how you see fit, because it's all basically the good life or the one mind if you're looking at the Mohawk wheel. So there's lots of benefits to coming out and learning from different cultures. Different cultures like the Cayuga, the Misagi, the Inuit, the Anishinaabe, the Blackfoot, the Cree, the Plains Cree, the Creeders. These are all different perspectives, but it's all still good life and good mind, one mind. And he was talking about how Canada, he was talking about the former Governor General's husband who wrote a book, talked about Fair Canada, Fair Country, where it talks about, he says that actually Canada is a Métis nation because a lot of it is based on Aboriginal perspective. So there's a lot of, I guess maybe a current thought, but it's been around for about 20 years. It's the Aboriginal or the Indigenous perspective on the world view. And so there's a lot of developing from that, acknowledging that kind of thinking, and working out of it. So there's a lot of benefits to coming out into broader community and opening your eyes and broadening your horizons. Yesterday I was at an event at Wabanome. I used to work at Wabanome in Ottawa when I first came up. So I dropped in there because they had their treatment as culture as treatment symposium. So I dropped in, said hello to people, and I went to listen to a friend, Cynthia Wesley Eskimong. And so she was talking about the perspectives of I guess our common history with colonialism and the effects. And so she was talking about back in the day, 30 years ago, when we were all coming out and about and starting to educate ourselves about opening our horizons and learning about ourselves. She talked about a friend, or not a friend, an acquaintance she saw. She says, oh, I'm going to go on my healing path. Oh, yeah, good for you. And please check it out. She goes, and then she ran into him not long ago. And she goes, oh, how are you? A long time no see. He goes, oh, I'm still on my healing journey. And she goes, what? Did you get lost? Oh, you better hurry up and start living life. And I was laughing because I was thinking, like, for sure, man, that's what this is about, you know? Life is for living. Enjoy the moments, savor the moments, and actually just show up. Just show up at these events, just show up for the day, just show up for the evening, and come out and broaden your horizons and educate yourself wherever you are, if you're on reserve or in the out here in the urban area, or if you're in a non-native town, or if you're out in the bush, or whatever you're doing, just show up for the day. That's the best way to live your life. That's what the message I want to impart wherever you are, and do that day and live in the moment. Maybe have a good day. So
that's my message.
All right. 3 questions.
Yes, it's good. Mm-hmm. It's good. So